Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we have a trade. The Cleveland Cavaliers have traded Ricky Rubio's expiring contract, even though we know he's out for the season and will not play. One 2022 protected lottery pick for this upcoming year, 2022. And you also have 2 second-round picks headed to Indiana for Caris LeVert. Now, here's the deal. That's a lot of draft equity that the Cleveland Cavaliers have given up to acquire Caris LeVert. All right. He's on a 2-year deal, so that means they do get to keep him into next season. And in my opinion, he's an all-star caliber player when he's right. Indiana, on the other hand, are taking in, of course, Ricky Rubio's contract, which is matching Caris LeVert's. It's at $17.8 million. But they bring in those draft picks and they can start the process of rebuilding. I'm trying to figure out how much I like this trade for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I obviously like this for the Pacers because they're, jump starting their rebuild and give themselves a lottery pick that's going to be coming up like right away. They're going to have somebody really, really good right now because of this. And the second rounders, can net them something, or they can keep it if they choose. And there's no harm in taking on Ricky Rubio's contract because, to be honest with you, it's going to be expiring very soon, and they have the cap space to do it, getting Caris LeVert out of there. So, that Ricky Rubio contract is nothing. That's not going to hurt them. On the other hand, if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're happy to get Ricky Rubio's salary out of there for a representative player that can help you win right now and somebody who can help you win next year, an expiring contract that maybe you can trade next season as an expiring contract and do the same thing that the Pacers just did. Or you can just try to re-sign Caris LeVert if he really floats your boat or what have you next season. So it's actually a pretty solid trade for both teams. There's nothing wrong with it. It's really risky, in my humble opinion, because Caris LeVert has had so much injury history. It's like, is he healthy right now? Yes. That means he's ready to help the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I guess it's like, all right, well, you love bringing in a player who can really, really get them over the top. Obviously, for this season and these playoffs, assuming he remains healthy throughout, the Cleveland Cavaliers picked up another guy who can give them 20-point triple-double or more. Caris LeVert is a real star. So for me, this puts the Cleveland Cavaliers in contention to come out of the Eastern Conference. And that is a very, very seriously good thing. So I guess I like it for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I guess I just want to make sure I'm looking at it from their perspective rather than my very own, because I'm rooting for a team that really needs draft equity. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where it's like, once you're talking about swinging around 3 picks, one being a lottery pick that's going to be helping you right away, you start wondering if Caris LeVert is worth that. But if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, you got a bunch of youngsters, you know what I mean? And you have a team that's ready to win now. You got Kevin Love on your books, who's playing great out of nowhere again. You kind of want to just turn yourself into a win now team and keep these youngsters happy. You know what I mean? You got Darius Garland, who's just now becoming an all-star right now for the very first time. You got one of the best young rookies coming to the game, in my opinion, in Evan Mobley. Obviously, you got Jared Allen, who should be an all-star. We hope that he's able to get a chance at being an all-star if somebody gets hurt or what have you, fixing the situation, because I think that's a mistake on the NBA's part, not putting him in there. So, they're winning now. Cleveland is winning now. You're excited if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, if you're the fans. Yeah. As I think about it, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. I think the bottom line is you turn Ricky Rubio, a player who was very, very helpful for you in the start of the season, who just went down with an injury in a devastatingly, sad fashion because he was helping them so much and having a career year. You still feel good about the fact that you can turn him into something that can help you win now, as he was able to help you win now. Unfortunately, though, had he not gotten hurt, do you love Caris LeVert that much if he didn't get hurt to give up all this lottery stuff? It's like almost like, that's not quite the thought. Let's say it like this. You would have loved for Ricky Rubio to stay healthy so you can also have your draft capital. Do you understand what I'm saying? since he's not healthy, you're giving up his salary to provide the same production in theory, since he was playing so well and Chris Levert's very good. But now you're out of all that draft capital. So that's the only way that I'm kind of looking at it. It's like, okay, I like Caris LeVert a lot. The fact that he's on for another year makes it so that his contract's a bit more valuable to you than Ricky Rubio's, because you want that value. It's hard to get free agents in Cleveland and stuff like that. So this gives you a guy who you know for a fact you will have it past this year. You don't have to watch him leave. He's in there. And the contract, like I said, just to recap, is very good because it's expiring next season. And Caris LeVert should still be very much a player in desire that teams desire next season if you want to try to recoup some of that draft capital or maybe get back something for him if you decide. Or even maybe you find out he loves Cleveland and he stays with you and continues to win. And if they come off with a championship caliber year this year, which I don't think is really out of the question, if I'm being completely real with y'all. I know I love Golden State and Phoenix. Obviously, you got to deal with the Nets, although it looks like they may make a trade. You're dealing with Joel Embiid, but you're the team that I think Joel doesn't want to see because of those Twin Towers. You know, I mean, look, do I think Cleveland's going to win the championship? I wouldn't bet on it, but I like them. I really like Cleveland. I like Cleveland more than most because I was one of the guys who was telling you guys as I was scouting Cleveland that, you know, they had a chance to win a championship someday now that they got those two stilts in at their 4 and 5 spot. I really do believe that if those two players remain healthy throughout the playoffs, they're going to be hard to beat for any team, because they're such incredible shot blockers, guys who can get easy buckets. Evan Mobley's a freaking genius on top of all of that, who doesn't really have any holes in his game at all, and he's already basically an all-star straight into the game. I mean, he reminds me of a Tim Duncan type of player. So how good can he lead you right away? How good can him and Allen lead you right away? And then Garland's a phenom looking like he's going to be a Chris Paul type of player. How good can they be right away? If you listen to me, I think it's going to be a situation where players like that can come in at some point and win a championship sooner than some of the older versions of young players in the past, if that makes any sense. Like, these guys are more win now than, say, a team that was put together with a bunch of youngsters would have been 5 years ago. That's what I'm saying. So I think we could see something unprecedented, like a team like that winning a championship this year or next year. I can totally see that, especially given the fact that they've been able to pick up a player like Caris LeVert, who, when right, can destroy teams by himself on a really good night. You know, I know what Caris can do. He's one of them. And he's still very young. He's had his injuries and stuff like that. That's what makes you hesitant. But if he's healthy now and you're talking about now, this is great. So all in all, it's a hell of a risk giving up that type of draft capital for a guy who's had the injury issues that he's had. But given the fact that he's in shape and healthy now, I say it's a go. I mean, you know, it's about as much as I would be willing to give up for Caris LeVert. You feel me? Anything more than this is a no-go. But I would say, yeah, I'm rolling. After thinking about it, I'm rolling. Cleveland Cavaliers did a pretty solid thing for themselves today, in my opinion. If Caris LeVert can stay healthy and not have any setbacks with his health, it's a go. It's a go. Everything that I'm looking at in this situation says it's a go. If you're the Indiana Pacers, you don't care nothing about Ricky Rubio's contract because it's a year that's lost already. All you really care about is getting those, getting some picks in there to help yourself rebuild. Now, do I think the Indiana Pacers are done? Absolutely not. I think the Indiana Pacers are going to make another move or two like that. I totally see that coming. I think they could possibly move on from a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, who's been having a lot of injury issues right now. They picked up some kid. I don't know if they drafted him, if he's undrafted. I do not know. Terry Taylor, who looks like he's going to be the next thing that's great coming out. Listen, I want you guys to take a look at Terry Taylor's numbers over the last 3 games. That's all I got to say. He is playing like a center, and he's a shooting guard. That is some really eye-opening stuff, and I'm glad the Pacers did something, so it gave me an opportunity to mention his name. I ain't seen no highlights. All I saw was that he is killing it in fantasy basketball over the last 3 games. This dude has put up, if I'm not mistaken, over 30 rebounds and over 40 points. Something like that. He had like 14 rebounds and then 15 rebounds in one game. He was putting up huge scoring numbers as well, like 20-something points in one and 20-something points in the next. So you understand what type of production this dude has when he's hungry. Now, my thing is this. as it pertains to Terry. Is this a sign of a player who's hungry, who's trying to earn his spot, and that's why he's playing crazy? And once he gets paid, he kind of comes back down to earth? Or is this the type of player that they've picked up? And if so, he's an unprecedented style player because he's putting up Westbrook rebounding numbers from the guard spot. That is absolutely impressive. So, as I told my boy Abdul yesterday, when he said that he thought the Lakers were going to try to get Caris LeVert, I'm like, yo, the Pacers are going to have to trade Caris LeVert just to make space for this new guy who's just playing like an all-star out the gate. So Terry Taylor, I don't know what in the world's going on there, but I'm going to be paying close attention to him. I picked him up in just about every fantasy team I got because that's the type of eye-opening numbers that young guard is putting up for the Pacers. So them trading Caris LeVert today, it's what I expected because of his production alone. I expect him to possibly move on from Malcolm Brogdon too, because he's had a lot of injury issues, particularly an Achilles issue, and that is always scary. You know what I mean? That's always scary. He's a fantastic player who can get them some equity as well. So if they're gonna jumpstart this rebuild, I understand they're probably gonna want to move on from those two centers as well, maybe Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner. But I would try to get rid of Malcolm Brogdon first, to be completely honest with you, and just try to jumpstart with a guard with that lottery pick that they just picked up from Cleveland, and then try to see what's up with Terry Taylor for the rest of the season. Because, man, I'm telling you, you do not see rebounding numbers like that from no shooting guard. That is not normal. So, yeah, the Pacers are going to be exciting to me, man. I like what the Pacers are trying to do. Blow it up. You're not good enough. You're not exciting enough. Blow it up. Cleveland, I am happy with what you did because I think you're giving yourself an opportunity to respect the fact that even though these are youngsters, you respect that they can win right away, and you're going to give them an opportunity to do that. And plus, it salvages Kevin Love's last couple years or year as a Cleveland Cavaliers, for which he sat through so much garbage. He deserves to be on a winning team right now, and I'm happy for him. So, yeah, after breaking it down, doing what it is I do, I like the trade for both teams. Can't remember my man's name, but the GM for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I always tell you I like him and what he's done. He's one of the best GMs in the league, and I saw signs of that 2-3 years ago when I first started seeing some of the stuff that they were doing. This is another move that I think can really help this team, and that's what I gotta say, man. This is eye-opening. It's eye-opening. I'm not gonna lie, it's eye-opening because it really shows you where Cleveland's at. They are not interested in probably trading for anything that ain't going to help them right now. They want to go after it. They want to be a juggernaut in the Eastern Conference. And I look around the East and I say, nobody wants to see them. Nobody. Not even Joel, because I know Joel is going crazy. But they have the anti-Joel. When you got two stilts that are very intelligent and are young and can play 30 or 40 minutes a game, they're going to be blocking shots, throwing bodies at this dude left and right. And now that they got Caris LeVert down there, who can either come off the bench or start for them, likely start. It's going to be monstrous just having him in that lineup as well, hitting shots and slashing to the basket and creating plays for others and things of that nature. So the balance of that team in Cleveland is looking great, and the jumpstart of the rebuild in Pacerland is looking great. So that's what I got to say, man. Well done, both guys. Well done. BDL 44. Peace.